Lucy Hoyle, I'm a cat behaviourist and author, and today I'm giving you a little insight into the world of cat behaviour and trying to explain why there's no guarantees that I can totally resolve your cat's behaviour problem. So this is a really difficult part of the job, and if I was able to guarantee that I could totally resolve it, that would be the best marketing ploy in the world, wouldn't it? And that is what I would like for everyone, obviously. However, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of cats, and for the most part, we can resolve it, or we can improve it to a manageable level, so everyone's okay. But there are some that there's just no resolution for it for a number of reasons, which I'll go into in a moment. The first area is when we know what the issues are, and we know what's causing the behaviour problem, but there are barriers to putting the treatment in place. And this is really frustrating because for me, I can see exactly what will help that cat, and I can talk to the person about it and say, okay, for example, your cat is zero marking inside because they're scared by the big fat tomcat that's moved in next door. And what can we do to keep that cat away and to help that cat inside feel that they don't need to worry anymore? And sometimes the treatment can be quite clear in that that's what we need to do, but actually practically putting that in place can be quite challenging. So there can be financial reasons why someone might not put that advice into place. They might not be able to afford to cat-proof their garden, or they might not want to cat-proof their garden because it's a person's garden, maybe not a cat garden, so they might not want that up. And that's their prerogative. It's not something I'm going to push, but I would make it clear this will help this will resolve your cat's behaviour problem. People have other commitments as well, like their cat might not be their biggest priority, which I'm sure for you cat lovers it might not be the case for you, but for other people that is the case. You might have elderly relatives they're caring for, they might have children, they might have other work commitments, and their cat is not their biggest priority. So if I'm giving advice that play with them more and like feed them 4 or 5 times a day instead of twice a day, then these things can be quite challenging for them to put in place as well. So again, it's up to me to tell that person what will be helpful, but I'm not going to push it and I'm not going to make people feel bad if they can't do it. But the consequence is the behaviour problem is not going to be resolved, or might not completely be resolved. There are plenty of people that just can't be asked, and again, that's on them, not on me, and I'm not going, I can't take responsibility for everyone putting the advice in place. So as a behaviourist, it's super frustrating because, like I say, you can see what will help and it's just not being put into place. But there's no judgement here. Like, I'm here to help as much as I can, but at the end of the day, it's your cat, it's your plan. And as long as your cat's happy and not super stressed, because that's horrible to have to come away from that thinking, oh, that cat's not happy, but I'm here to help. The second sort of area to think about is cases where we don't know what the cause is. So, like, for example, a really common one is pooing outside the litter tray. That's my least favourite one, when people get in touch and say, my cat's just weeing in the tray but pooing outside the tray. Because I find that these issues, and lots of others, often have a medical cause. So every cat I see has a vet check first of all, but normally what that involves is the person will go to the vet will check them over and say, looks healthy and there's no real issues. And so that cat comes away with a clean bill of health. But there's loads of underlying problems that we wouldn't pick up unless we did lots more of extensive tests. And not every cat, it's not really appropriate for me to suggest every cat has every single test to rule out every single eventuality. So especially with cats, because they hide pain so well as well, that it's really, I feel like it's a much more prominent issue than we first think. And everybody says to me, no, they're healthy, everyone. And I'm always like, yeah. But sometimes it's not the case, and I've had plenty of cats where their aggression has been really serious, and then they've gone and the vet's checked their teeth and they've, oh, okay, they need 10 teeth out, and she's had their teeth out and then she's been fine. So these things have happened in the past, and so this is really tricky to overcome. And I think as well there are some issues like over-grooming, pica, and hyperesthesia, which is when a cat has a super sensitive back and tail and they sometimes attack their tails. These ones I feel like are very at risk of having medical cause as well. They can be behavioural, and often there's a mix between the two. So there'll be a behavioural influence, but also a medical underlying. So, for example, that hyperesthesia, if you stroke your cat along the tail, you might find that they bite you. But there is that medical underlying thing, so it's behavioural and medical. So sometimes if I go somewhere and I think, God, we've ruled everything out and there's no real cause there, no obvious cause, Then for these cats, then we'll keep medical on the radar, speak with the vet and make vets on board at all times so we can cover all scenarios. However, it's not cheap, and I'm not going to push people to have tests that they're not willing to do or they don't want to. So yeah, again, there is that there that we won't forget. But otherwise it's about covering all bases, and once we've done like a behavioural sort of audit and made sure, yeah, there's no stress, and yeah, there's no triggers, and there's no patterns to it, and there's nothing that we're doing, the litter trays look perfect and the cat's happy and everything's looking amazing, then where do we go then? I don't have anything to work with if there's no gaps there and nothing to improve upon. So that can be really, really difficult. But what I would say about these cases is that it isn't, primarily it's about resolving cat behaviour problems, but the other part of the job is supporting people that are in this position where their cat just can't cope, or we just cannot get on top of that behaviour. And so what does that person do? They either rehome their cat or they put up with the problem. So if for those clients who are just continuing to put up with the problem after covering everything, then I'm here for you as well. Even if that's just venting, trying different things that may or may not work next time, and just keep running through different things, I'm here for that, for the period of support, which at the moment is 4 months. So I'm really proud of that side of the business as well, because it's horrible living with a behaviour problem, and like I say, I'm 100% committed to overcoming it, but if we can't, then I'm just happy to be able to support you in that role. Finally, I just wanted to mention that I don't see rehoming as a failure on any case. So it's at the bottom of my list of things to try. I will absolutely try everything else first. I don't know if there's a case I've ever gone to where I've been like, this cat needs to be rehomed straight away. So you can be reassured that that's not something I'm going to come in and be like, you need to rehome your cat straight away. I always try everything else first. But if we have tried everything and that cat's not happy and they're not coping in that environment, then I feel like finding that cat the right home, as difficult as that can be sometimes, is the best outcome for the cats and the people. So yeah, I don't see that as a failure. That is a successful outcome for that cat, and hopefully the people there, although it's going to be sad, can just breathe a bit of a sigh of relief that, okay, we're not having this problem anymore, and that my cat is in a nice home, that they're going to be happy there. And we tried everything before we got to that point. I do find it challenging when people, like, I feel like we've got to that point, but the person I'm working with absolutely refuses to do that. That's such a really challenging situation, because that I understand why, because you would never want to like let go of your cat and put them into the rehoming system and everything. But if your cat's not happy, then yeah, it's really difficult to see that and know that that's just that forever. So that's pretty challenging. So just to reiterate, I'm 100% committed to resolving your cat's behaviour problem, but if we can't, then I'm here to support you, and you've got someone on your side that can talk for hours about cats. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more about your cat's behaviour, and I will catch you next time. Take care, bye!